Hello everyone, it's Alina. Welcome to my Soap General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In Paris, France, Spencer brought Trina to a fancy restaurant for a romantic meal. While Trina gushed over Paris in general, she couldn't help but mention how Spencer had left her hanging regarding his evening plans. With a hint of astonishment, Spencer teased. Trina inquired as to Spencer's whereabouts while he appeared preoccupied. Spencer remembered pleading with Nicholas to have caviar years ago, and he saw that the restaurant served black gold caviar. Spencer expressed his wish that Ace would mature into a more practical person than he was. Trina remarked that Nicholas had perhaps learned a lot from watching Spencer. When Spencer remarked that he didn't want to ruin his and Trina's night, Trina said that she wanted to hear Spencer's stories and to join in his struggles. For Trina, that was the norm for couples. As he reached for Trina's hand, Spencer claimed that he was still getting accustomed to being in a good relationship, and he teased that Trina would have to be patient with him. "Sure thing, I love you," Trina murmured quietly. "And I love you, Mademoiselle Robinson," Spencer punched out with a faint French accent. Spencer discussed the potential of discovering Trina's passion for cooking when they were in Paris and informed her he intended to do so when supper was ready. Before heading back to Port Charles in the summer of 2021, Spencer thought back on his previous visit to Paris and felt regret for the time he had lost being so angry with Nicholas and Ava. Trina remarked that Esme had enabled and fueled Spencer's wrath, as well as having deceived him. Spencer added that he was delighted that he and Trina could put Esme behind them. Trina claimed that Spencer hadn't earned the horrors that Esme had done to him. "How do you do that? You're so supportive. You're so sweet, and you're so hot. You make me want to be better," Spencer replied. "Well, I think you're pretty amazing," Trina replied. Spencer complimented Trina, but he said that there was still room for improvement. "You'll get there," Trina stated reassuringly. After dinner, Spencer prepared to lead Trina out of the restaurant. "Merci, monsieur. Where are we off to?" Trina asked. "The rest of our lives," Spencer replied confidently as he grasped Trina by the hands. In Kevin's room at the hospital, Kevin confirmed to Laura that Esme had knocked him unconscious. Laura quickly felt tearful for Esme, and she declared that Esme was a nice mother. Laura indicated that Nicholas was fully to blame for Esme being pushed over the edge after Esme had regained her memories. Kevin added that he assumed Esme would have gone in search of Nicholas instead of heading to Toronto. Detective Bennett entered to take Kevin's statement. During the interview, Kevin had a memory of finding Esme using the Invaders Company credit card. Laura called Alexis to ask her to visit. In Toronto, Dante, Chase, and a Canadian police officer were welcomed into an apartment belonging to Maggie Fitzgerald, Esme's former nanny. After sharing the police's notion that Esme had gone to meet Maggie, Dante was surprised when Maggie confessed that she hadn't seen Esme in years. Dante recalled that the police had received a letter that Maggie had reportedly sent to Esme with an invitation to visit Maggie in Canada. Maggie was adamant that she had never issued an invitation for Esme to visit, and she underlined that Esme was a problematic person with a criminal background. Chase returned following a search of the flat, and he confirmed that there was no proof that Esme had ever been at the residence. Dante inquired if Maggie had any idea where Esme may be. Maggie added that Esme had been determined to reconcile with her family in the last correspondence she had shared with Esme. Dante and Chase stepped out of the room to speculate on where Esme might be. Back in Kevin's bedside at the hospital, Alexis learned from a transaction statement that Esme had used the Invaders' business credit card to book a flight to Paris. "Oh my God, she's going after Spencer and Trina." Laura understood. At the same time, Spencer and Trina stood under the night sky of Paris. Spencer hugged Trina as they looked up at the stars together. "Take it all in, Trina. It's all for us," Spencer murmured as he kissed Trina on the cheek. "I can't believe that this is really happening," Trina whispered as Spencer hugged her in his arms. Spencer inquired if Trina was ready for their next surprise. "I don't need a surprise. I've got you." "That's all I could ever need," Trina murmured quietly as she and Spencer kissed. After Spencer and Trina moved away, Esme appeared from behind a nearby wall. Esmond proceeded to follow Spencer and Trina. Elsewhere at the hospital, Stella tried to discourage Curtis when he told a physical therapist that he wanted to try to stand. Curtis stood on the handlebars and tried to walk, but he swiftly sank backwards into his wheelchair. Stella asked Curtis' physical therapist for a moment alone with Curtis, who remarked that it had been a mistake to try to rise so abruptly. Stella persuaded Curtis not to give up. Portia entered, and she informed that Kevin was awake. Curtis wondered if Portia had learned anything about Esmond's whereabouts. Portia declared that she was done with Esmond and that she hoped Esmond would soon be found and sent to prison. The physical therapist returned to help Curtis finish his session. Stella and Portia gushed about Curtis' improvement. At the courts, Alexis and Tracy joined Elizabeth, Martin, and Gregory to support and reassure Finn. Tracy noted that Finn was such a good doctor. Elizabeth felt that Finn had been used as a scapegoat. During a court recess, Mrs. Muldoon approached Finn to say that the malpractice claim had been her husband's idea. Later, Elizabeth, Tracy, Martin, and others persuaded Finn to accuse Mrs. Muldoon of fraud. When court reconvened, Martin urged Finn for a judgment. Thankfully, Jocelyn Jacks came forward to aid Adam and played a big role in giving him the strength to stand up to his father. Adam elected to stay at PCU and pursue music, so he'll still be around off-screen. It is possible Adam will return at some time if a new story opportunity develops, but his final airdate was February 1 for now. Most GH fans certainly know that Joshua Bernard has a famous real-life father with a big link to the show. Of course, we're talking about Maurice Bernard, who plays the immensely popular Sonny Corinthos. Joshua actually played a younger version of Sonny back in 2018 in certain flashback sequences, but he went on to play Adam Wright starting in 2021. Adam was a terrific man when he initially appeared since he hit on Jocelyn following the revelation of her scandalous tape with Cameron Webber. However, Adam ultimately recognized the folly of his actions and apologized to Jocelyn, so they became close friends and later built a stronger friendship. More recently, Adam became a more fleshed-out character with plenty of flaws. Therefore, Joshua Bernard was given a chance to grow as an actor and demonstrate greater versatility with his performance. It was wonderful to see Adam shake things up with some new drama, but he deserves to find some peace and happiness now that he's living life on his own terms. Adam's latest arc began in September 2023, but now he's ended his stay and will be off-screen as he concentrates on a bright new chapter. How did you feel about Adam Wright's storyline? Would you like to see more of Adam, or are you ready for some other characters to have the emphasis for a while? General Hospital spoilers suggest Jocelyn and Dex Heller still have some intriguing content in the works, so stay tuned for updates on all the surprising news ahead. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please click like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.